Greetings, my fellow stars. I want to know what's your least favorite SpongeBob episode from the first 3 seasons. Let's see. Dub? Yeah, not a fan of that. The Sponge Who Can Fly? I don't get the hate for this one. Is it because of the bullying? At least it does its message well. I like Grandma's kisses. Speaking of which, let's check that episode out. It's time for SpongeBob to go visit his grandma's house. His grandma is really kind to him because she bakes cookies, tells stories, and gives him a kiss on his forehead, just like you would expect for your old grandmother. But when SpongeBob goes to work, swimwear and the customers are making fun of him. This is due to the kiss mark on top of his forehead. They sway a message that SpongeBob's immature because he enjoys stuff that they consider to be for babies. Unfortunately, this is a real thing that people face when pregnant. It's called verbal abuse. Instead of physically attacking, the abuser will use harmful words at the victim. This is usually done to gain power over someone. In this scene, the key mice and Swimmer are basically saving SpongeBob because they think that eating cookies and wearing sweaters are only for babies, not for full-grown adults. This will definitely make SpongeBob's self-esteem go down in the progress. Now, verbal abuse can also cause other mental health issues like depression, anxiety, or even post-traumatic stress disorder. So really abusing your friends physically or emotionally is never a good idea. Let's see if this SpongeBob episode can do its message justice, shall we? After being humiliated at work, SpongeBob tries to get help, but parents on how to stop people from bullying him. He suggested that SpongeBob should look like an adult and behave like one. This episode was released in 2001, so I guess that year was still in the time period where society thinks that everyone should be completely the same then. Take notes because we will get back to this point later in the video. It's time for the man to go visit Grandma Sponge's house. SpongeBob announces to his grandma that he is an adult now, and he doesn't need to have all of these baby stuff anymore. And she agrees with her grandson's decision. Nothing bad yet. I guess that.
But what am I going to do with all these fresh baked cookies?
Sorry, Grandmother. We adults don't partake in the consumption of sweets. Right, Patrick?
Oh, now Patrick decides that he needs all this baby stuff. It's fine, because Patrick isn't the smartest starfish in the scene. Looks like SpongeBob can only act like an adult for so long before he needs time to relax. So let's have him eat his cookie.
You don't want this baby food.
What? When Grandma Sponge agrees that her grandson should be treated as an adult, she really meant it. Anytime the SpongeBob tries to enjoy baby stuff, his grandma will give him adult stuff instead. Unfortunately, SpongeBob has had enough and throws a tantrum inside his grandmother's house. He really wanted to enjoy these baby stuff, but he can't because he has to be an adult. In the end, Grandma Sponge tells her grandson that he doesn't need to behave like a baby to enjoy her stuff. What? Why would you say that if you were the one who introduces this baby stuff to your own grandson in the first place? I get that this is SpongeBob's grandmother, but I feel like I'm missing something here. It felt that this whole scene is nuts. Because I bet you that if this episode was longer, then there would have been more time for Grandma Sponge to realize her mistake. Either that or she is a huge troll, but I doubt that. You may be wondering, what happened to those bullies that appeared earlier in the episode? Well, here they are, Rabbit and SpongeBob outside his grandmother's house. You figured that Grandma Sponge would have overheard them and then punished them for making fun of her own grandson like that. But nope, the episode says ends without any punishment whatsoever. As you can tell in the recap, the message of Grandma's kisses is that you shouldn't abuse your friends just because they enjoy stuff that you personally dislike. As we saw later in the episode, SpongeBob had no choice but to give up the deeds he loves just so people can stop bullying him. So does this SpongeBob episode does their message justice? No. While the episode had good intentions, there is one flaw that is keeping it from fully committed to its message. And it's unwittingly SpongeBob's grandma. She keeps reimbursing the idea that adults should just eat corn and we marshmallows. The thing is that anyone, regardless of their age, can enjoy eating cookies, wear sweaters, and play toys. What am I doing right now? I have tons of plush toys, and nobody calls me a kid for liking them. And plus, this flaw actually makes the bit down developmental mental health issues worse. So even the episode itself doesn't take its message seriously. Though recently, it appears that the world is slowly accepting the idea that nobody should be ashamed for not fitting into various stereotypes of our society. So looking back to episodes like Grandma's Kisses has really made me appreciate how far we had gotten in terms of stereo acceptance. As you can tell, I dislike this classic SpongeBob episode. It was a product of its time, but I'm so glad that we don't have to reinforce negative stereotypes of adults and kids anymore. But what are your opinions on Grandma's Kisses? Do you agree with my opinion, or do you like this episode? And with that being said, this was Mitz Star Master, and I will see you stars in the sky tonight. It's called brutal abuse. Instead of physically attacking, did I say attacking or attracted?